Hey runners, welcome back to our stretch and stability series. We are now on episode 26, which is our final episode. So well done for getting to this point and investing that time in yourself and in your body, hopefully making you feel more connected, more mobile, and improving your running and your recovery. So let's finish strong and let's get into it. We're going into some active hamstring work and some shoulder extensions, so trying to open up the shoulders and also the upper spine. So we're going to start by laying down onto our backs. And then from here, you're just going to take a hold of the left thigh with both hands, and you're just going to pull the knee in towards the body. From here, we're going to extend and straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Now, if this is too challenging for you, you can alter the difficulty by just allowing that knee to drop down further away from the body or further away from the chest. So the closer the knee is in towards the chest, the harder the exercise is going to be. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to extend the leg up towards the ceiling and then come down. Okay, we're going to do 8 reps here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, trying your best to get a full lockout with the leg. 5, and you should be feeling your hip flexors and your quads working, so the front of the thigh. 6, 7, and last one, 8. And you're going to hold. You're going to try to take the hands away and just hold without support for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't worry as you do that if your leg drops down a bit, that's totally fine. Let's go on to the right side, so taking hold of the right thigh as close as you're comfortable with. So if this feels too hard with your knee in towards your chest, you can alter the difficulty by allowing that knee to drop away from the chest. And then from here, we're just going to extend the leg, pointing the toes up towards the ceiling as you do this for 8 reps. 2, 3, 4, 5. Really try to fully lock the leg out. 6, 7, and last one, 8. Hold at the top. Try to take the hands away. Don't worry if your leg drops down a bit like mine has. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, we're going to go into a reverse tabletop. So we're going to be working on our shoulder extension, opening up the chest, allowing the shoulders to come back, which will help you have a nice upright posture when you're running. So walk the feet so your heels are about 1 foot's distance away from your glutes. And then hands behind you, you want the hand to be rotated back away from the body, so you're not turned in towards the body, you want to be away. And then from here, before we lift the bum off the floor, just think about squeezing the shoulder blades together and opening up the chest. From there, we're going to lift the bum off the floor, and this is our base position, okay? We want to try not to be collapsed and more passive here. We want to be more active, so chest open, shoulders back and down. And then from here, we're going to drive the hips up and keep squeezing the shoulder blades together as you lift up with the hips. Good, we're going to come down, and as you come down, think about pushing your bum back towards your hands. So we're still maintaining that retraction, so with the shoulder blades together, we're maintaining that even in the base position. Let's go again, drive the hips up for 2. Now don't worry if your hips don't go all the way up. You might have a limited range here, that's totally fine. You might just come up to here. Okay, let's go for 3. 4. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. And last one, 5. We're going to hold at the top, and we're just going to take some gentle rocks. So just rocking forwards and backwards. Good. And then slowly come down, keeping the shoulder blades together. And just take a rest with the hands behind you. We're going to go back to our hamstring extensions, our knee extensions, working on our hamstring extension. So come down onto your backs. And then from here, we're just going to take a hold of the left thigh. And maybe we can bring the knee in a little bit closer than where we were before. And then we're just going to straighten the leg, pointing the toes up towards the ceiling, trying to get a full lockout with the leg as we do it. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be feeling the front of the thigh activating and also getting a stretch through the hamstrings. 6, 7, and last one, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, let's go over to the other side. Taking hold of the right thigh, pulling that knee in maybe a little bit more than where we were before, and then we're going to straighten the leg, pointing the toes up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, get ready to hold, 8, hold at the top, take the hands away, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, let's go back to our tabletop. So if you remember the setup, we've got the heels about 1 foot's distance away from the glutes. We've got the hands behind us, rotating the hand away from the body, shoulder blades together, lift the bum off the floor. And then from here, we're going to drive the hips up, engaging the glutes, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and just allow the neck to follow the natural plane of motion. So the head should tilt back just a touch. And then as we come down, keeping the shoulder blades together, pushing the bum back towards the hands. Let's go again. For 2. Keep the shoulder blades together. 3. I'm going to go to 8 now. 4. Really try to maximize your shoulder extension by squeezing the shoulder blades together and pushing the floor away from you as you come up into that top position. Let's do 2 more. 7. And last one. 8. Good. Hold at the top and just rock forwards and backwards if you feel comfortable to do so. Some of you might be, this might be quite tight for you, and these rocks might be a lot, in which case just hold at the top. And then we're just going to drop down. Coming into the side plank, we're just going to have the shoulder over the wrist. And then again, we can have 1 foot behind the other. So in this case, the left foot is behind the right foot. And then I want to think about pushing the floor away from me, driving the hips up and keeping the activation through the glutes. Okay, my hand can also be on my hip, or I can just raise the hand towards the ceiling. Okay, we're trying to keep the hips forward, keeping the activation, really try to lift the hips up. If the hips are sinking like this, we're not getting a lot going on through the obliques. So just holding in the side plank position, I've got my hand on my hip. Remember, you can lift and reach up towards the ceiling. And we're going to do about 30 seconds here. So we've got 10 more seconds. Really try and lift the hips up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to try and go straight into our reverse plank. So try and just shift all the way around into the reverse plank. And then if you remember from previously in the series, we're trying to keep the glutes engaged, squeezing the shoulder blades together, pulling the shoulders back and down. And we're just holding here again for 30 seconds. Don't worry if you're not able to get that full retraction. Just try to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Try to keep the hips up high. So I was dropping down a bit there. We want to try and lift up the hips to get the activation through the core. 15 more seconds here. And as you might have guessed, we're going to go over to the other side. I'm going to spin around on the mat so you can see me, but on your own, you can just go over to the other side. So coming over onto your left hand in 3, 2, and 1. So we're coming back into the side plank. You've got 1 foot behind the other, or you can stack them. You can stack the feet on top of each other. Make sure the shoulder is over the wrist, glutes engaged, hip up nice and high. Keep the hips facing forwards, and we're just holding here. 30 seconds again. Really try and lift up the hips, get that activation into the obliques. It's going to give you a lot of stability, being strong there. 10 seconds. We're going to go into a full plank next. So you're just going to bring your hand over, so the right hand over, and come into a full plank position in 3, 2, and 1. We're coming into the full plank now. So again, we've got the shoulders over the wrists. We can grip into the floor with our toes, and then we can push into the floor, find what's called protraction, so separating the shoulder blades, and then we want to engage the glutes and almost create this contrast where we're kind of pushing up through the upper back and then driving down with the hips. Okay, we'll just do 20 seconds here because it's a little bit more challenging. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees to the floor, and then we're just going to drop back into a child's pose just to take a little rest. So in this child's pose, we've got the hips back and we're just relaxing in this position, allowing the head to drop to the floor, taking some deep breaths. And we're going to go again now, but in this sequence, we're going to start with a high plank, and then we're going to go into our side planks, and then we're going to finish in reverse. Okay, so let's come back into the high plank. Okay, so shift the shoulders over the wrists, and then feet onto the floor, lift the hips up, and then we're creating that contrast between pushing the floor away from you and then driving the hips down to the floor, trying to get that activation into the core. 20 seconds here. And I'm going to go over onto my left hand in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the side plank. Hand can go onto the hip. Hand can be extended up to the ceiling. Keep the glutes engaged. Keep the hips facing forward. Keep the hips up nice and high. 30 seconds here. This is a challenging sequence. Really try and lift the hips up high. If you're dumping here, you're not going to get that activation into the obliques. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3. We're going to go into reverse plank. 2, 1. Coming into reverse. So into our reverse plank. Shoulders together. Should be more of a restful position for you for some. And yeah, we don't need to be fully retracted. If we can't find that, that's totally fine. So it's not a necessity, but it is a benefit because we're getting that extra shoulder mobility work. And we're doing 30 seconds here. 10 seconds. And then we're going to come over onto our right hand. I'm just going to flip around on the mat so I'm still in the frame. 3, 2, 1. Come over onto your right hand. And then we're into the side plank again. Remember, feet can be stacked on top of one another. And then we're pushing the floor. So push the floor away from you with the hand and then lift the hips up high. Keep the glutes engaged. And then keep the gaze forwards. Really try and lift up. And then we can either extend the arm or have the hand on the hip. 30 seconds here again. Really lift the hips up. And try not to allow the hips to open like this. You want to keep them forwards. 5 seconds. 5, 4. We're going to reverse plank. 3, 2, 1. Come into reverse. And then from here, we're just going to go straight down onto the floor. Backs onto the floor. Walk the feet up. And we're just going to rest in this position now, which we'll be familiar with. So we're with bent knees. And then we're trying to keep the lower back on the floor. Taking deep breaths into the diaphragm. Good, we're going to do one more round. Okay, so we're going to do similar to what we did when we first started, starting in reverse, going to the 2 side planks, finishing in a high plank. Okay, so when you're ready, let's find our reverse plank. So feet on the floor, hands behind you, shoulders back and down if you can, not a necessity. Drive the hips up, that is a priority. We want to get the hips up high, glutes engaged. 30 seconds here. Really try and engage the glutes and tuck the hips in. Same sensation as trying to push the lower back into the floor. 10 seconds. And then we're going to go over to our right hand. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come over onto your right hand. Into the side plank. We've got the hand on the hip or the hand extended up to the ceiling, driving the hips up. Push the floor away from you. And again, 30 seconds here. Really try and lift the hips up nice and high. Keep the glutes active, keep the hips facing forwards. We've got 10 seconds here. Keep it up, guys. I know this is hard. 4, 3, 2, back to reverse. 1, reverse plank. Good, holding here. We'll just do 10 seconds here because we're going to go over onto the left side in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come over onto your left. Feet can be stacked on top of one another, or you can have the right foot behind the left, hand on the hip or extended, push the floor away from you. Keep the hip up nice and high, glutes active, hips facing forwards. 30 seconds here. This will be our last side plank. Keep it up, guys. Really try and lift the hips up. Keep the hips forward. Try and find your breath here if you can. 10 seconds. Keep it up. I know this is challenging. This will be your hardest core sequence. 3, 2, 1 into high plank. Last high plank. Let's make it 30 seconds. Push the floor away from you and then drive the hips down with the glutes engaged. So we're creating that contrast between pushing the floor away from you, driving the hips down. Try and find your breath. Keep it up, guys. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Drop the knees down to the floor. Drop the hips back. And just take a little moment to reset and find your breath. Nice. Cool. So let's come into a position where we're on the top of our feet. And then if you're comfortable here, you're just going to sit back onto the top of your heels. Now, for some of you, you might not be comfortable here, and you can just elevate up a touch, and you could just hold there throughout the duration of the sequence. If you are comfortable here, we're just going to hold here and try and make sure your feet are nice and straight. So they might want to rotate inwards. Try and make sure your feet are nice and straight behind you, sitting onto your heels, and hopefully feeling a stretch along the front of the shin. Some of you are super comfortable here and you might not feel a lot, in which case you're just going to lean back, okay? So just holding here, just getting that initial stretch through the front of the lower limb, through the anterior tibialis muscle, and just holding here, breathing into your diaphragm. Good. We're then going to go into some lifts. So we can adjust our position. So for people who are particularly tight here, you can be more in an upright position here and lifting here. For people who have more range of motion here, you can lean back and lift it off, okay? Let's go for a total of 10 reps. So I'm going to demo in this more advanced position, leaning back. And we're going to lift up and we'll hold for about 2 seconds on each rep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you lift up, try and actively push the foot down into the floor. 8, 9, and last one, 10. Good. Bring the weight forwards, and then we're just going to grip the toes into the floor, and we're going to go into our toe stretch again, but now we're going to make this a little bit more dynamic. So from here, just come up into a squat with the feet together, and then keeping the hands on the floor, we're just going to drive the knees down to the floor and then back up again. So use support from the floor, drive the knees down to the floor, and then lift back up. Okay, let's do 10 reps here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9 and 10. Good. Let's just hold in our toe stretch again, just pushing back into, pushing the heels down into the floor, getting a nice stretch in the toes. And then we're going to come onto the top of our feet again, and we're just going to go through that stretch along the front of the lower limb. So remember, you can either be forwards or you can be back to make it more advanced and a deeper stretch into the front of the lower limb. And then from here, we'll just start with a hold actually. We'll just do 10-second hold before we go into those lift-offs. Just getting comfortable here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, let's lift off one knee at a time. Remember, you're actively pressing the foot into the floor as you lift off with the leg. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Good. Bring the weight forwards. Shift the weight into the toes, curl the toes under, and then coming into that low squat position with the knees close together, and then going into that dynamic toe stretch sequence. So keeping the hands on the floor, driving the knees down to the floor for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your lower limb really should be burning quite a lot right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10. Good. Keep the toes curled under into the floor, and then we're just going to lean back and just hold for a little bit of a stretch again for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, that concludes our section on the lower limb. Okay, runners, that concludes our session for today. Hope to see you on the mat soon.